maverick from the land of the five rivers.
Years ago, when we came to Los Angeles, I really believed that the greatness of the Raiders would be in its future.
We back. Y'all know what it is, man.
Oh, you didn't know?
50-50.
Welcome to the 50-50 Show with PharoahNFL and the Severe Raider, the realest show for Raider Nation.
The perpetuation of the greatness of the Raiders to take a professional football team and give it a distinct characteristic that's different from all others.
Make sure to clock in, like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.
Hey, y'all already know what it is, man. It's that time, man. It's the 50-50 Show. Make sure to clock in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. We appreciate everybody coming through, man. Hey, different week, same story. Right? Raiders just continue to lose. At this point, I think we can all agree that this is not something that's going to go away as far as this team and where it's headed. Hopefully it's headed for a number one pick. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm gonna be honest with you. Hey, if we're gonna lose, man, do it right, man. Lose right so we can get the number one pick. And if I know some of y'all don't want to hear about that, but we're gonna have that conversation today. We're gonna have a real conversation because the Raiders need a franchise quarterback, bad, yeah. Man. But let's address the night crew, man. The building pulling up, man. We got James Furpo in the building. He comes in, man. The only way he knows how.
Exactly.
My God, man. Coming through, man. We got The king of mods in the building. Salute Pharaoh, salute Severe, man. Appreciate you. Daniel Kim in the building, man. Appreciate you coming through. Man, we got Milka Beezy in the building, man. Appreciate you coming through. My guy, the numbers. We're going to look at some numbers today, man. We're going to look at some numbers.
Yeah, we for sure going to look at some numbers today.
Hey, we definitely going to look at some numbers today, man. We got Leo in the building, man. Make sure to go over his channel and subscribe to my guy doing big things.
For sure.
He says
you
and me both out, but that future's looking dim. I think he was talking to someone in the chat, man. Appreciate you coming through, Leo.
Hey, make sure y'all go sub to Leo. I think he's like 10 or less away from 500. So make sure we get him to 500 by the end of the night if we can.
Yes, definitely. Make sure to head over to his channel and get him to 500. And I believe that's monetization. That's monetization right there. Yes. So that's a big number in YouTube. We got Myra in the building. Hey, she says, yeah, Ariel was gonna say, yeah, that was a remix. I changed it up. Every week is something different. Was gonna say at least NBA season started, but the Warriors not looking great either. Man, yeah, all the teams, man. Like, I think the Lakers are playing right now. We gonna see how it's gonna look for them, but y'all kind of know what it is with that team too. They're aging, and that's a whole different conversation. Yeah. Pharaoh on the tape. I'm gonna be real, man. I am tired. I am tired of watching what we're watching right now. I'm tired of the Raiders losing first and foremost, but I'm also tired of seeing the quarterback play that we're watching, and we're gonna get into that in a second, man. We got to get the silver and black. That's a great name right there, man. Yes, I don't want any more wins this season. Hey, man. It's the truth, though. It's the truth. Assassin Creed says Pharaoh Severe. Myra G, what's happening, man? Hey, appreciate you coming through. Appreciate you coming through, for real, man. We got Asana Vila in the building, all the way from San Diego, man. He was out here in the Bay, but now he in San Diego, man. So another Raider city too. That's another Raider city. If we being real. 831 Raider in the building. Salute, my guy. Appreciate you coming through. Dontrell Hammond says, yo, what's up? I am new and I just subscribed, man. Hey, man, appreciate it, man. Appreciate hey, if you subscribe to Severe, make sure you subscribe to me. If you subscribe to, you know what I mean, vice versa. Subscribe to everybody, man. Appreciate you coming through, man. Appreciate it. We got Queen Raiderette in the building, man. Appreciate you coming through, man.
Appreciate it.
Man, we got everybody pulling up today. We got a lot to talk about. We're gonna talk about the game, but we're gonna talk about the bigger picture. Be honest with you, because what we've been seeing every Sunday is it's the same old at the end. Like, it's the same game, same excuses, same problems, same issues. We kind of seen it coming from a mile away, but we try to be positive. But you know what? It's for the season. Let's just see it play. Let's play out. Maybe, like people were throwing out like, oh, maybe Gardner Minshew could be, Rich Gannon. Rich Gannon was a journeyman quarterback. Minshew just needs his opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't know how long that. Whoever said that, we're not gonna laugh at you. We might give you this, man. We might do this for a second, man. Just admit it. Did you think that Gardner Minshew was gonna be this generation's version of Rich Gannon? I seen it. I don't know who. I don't remember the name. But if you know who you are, if you want to be real, got some character to you, just admit it, man. We're just gonna laugh at you just for one quick second. That dude is trash. He's trash. Severe, man. Let's just get into it, man. Let's just get into the state of the Raiders. You were at the game. You were at the LA Rams game, man. Defense showed up. Showed up. Yeah. Like, what were your thoughts just watching it in person, like, and just seeing the defense play well, but obviously they came up short against the Rams?
The one thing I thought, and I texted some of my boys this too. I was just like, man, like, I wonder what it's like to go to a game with like an exciting offense where you're like, oh man, like I see You expect to see a big play. Like, oh, something like any minute now we're gonna get like a passing yard down. As soon as we got down in the game, I was like, oh, it's game over at this point, bro. It's game over. I was like, our defense has to score a point, man. Like, both our quarterbacks are trash, man. It's just, oh my God. But as bad as Aidan was, if Aidan had played that game, we probably win.
Yeah.
Because he most likely doesn't turn the ball. At least he doesn't turn the ball over 4 times. Even if he had 1 or 2, which he likely would have, he wouldn't have been 4. So it's just this the play under center. We were better than the Rams on every level, except maybe at running back, because Kyron Williams is a dog, and quarterback, and of course head coach, because Sean McVay is one of the best in the league. So, but like in terms of on the field, the only real position they were really better than us that day, and even we kept their running game bottled up. The only real position they were better than us was at quarterback, and that was enough for them to beat us. Man, we have to address that position. We have to address that position. I don't care. We do nothing else. We have to address that position.
My guy Raider Smoke. Ray, you know how he come through, man. Appreciate the super chat, my guy. He says, "What's up with the fellas? Appreciate you guys, man. Hey, my guy's Smoke in the building, man. We got to do. I was thinking about doing a post game live, but I was just like, man, this shit is
same here, man.
You know how like it's just after just a loss, you just don't even want to talk about the game. You're like, you know what, this shit is just same old shit.
Like usually after a game, I'll like rewatch the broadcast, and then I'll like watch the all 22. But I ain't watch that shit again, man. I would watch that again, man.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
I can't. I just can't watch it again, man. It was disastrous, man. It was disastrous.
But let's talk about it. All right, so defense obviously came to play. They played well. Nate Hobbs, huge stop on 4th and 1, made plays. Obviously, Max Crosby was Max Crosby. Defense played well. Patrick Graham called a game. I was surprised that the Rams looked the way they did it coming off a bye, but they were without Cooper Kupp, who we thought was going to play that game, but I guess he's probably going to maybe show up this Thursday possibly, because I know they got a short week, or I don't know what's going on with him. But anyways.
I doubt it. He's probably getting traded soon. They probably not going to play him.
I heard that. Like, so what's going on? Like, they're trying to cut their losses? Or
he's an older guy, oft injured, kind of expensive at the position. There's some contenders that need a wide receiver. You think about the Steelers, they need another wide receiver. The Chiefs. Remember, the Chiefs offered us a 2nd-round pick for Devontae, and we said no, obviously, because they're the Chiefs. So the Chiefs and what the Rams are doing that we didn't do, intelligently what they're doing is that they are willing to pay a portion of his salary in order to secure a 2nd-round pick. So, which is something we were unwilling to do. So there's going to be a team out there. There's going to be a contender out there that acquires him. There's another team in the mix. I forget for sure who else it is, but I know for sure the Chiefs and the Steelers are both in the mix to acquire Cooper Kupp.
I don't want Cooper Kupp. I go to the Eagles. Go to some other team. I do not want the Chiefs to get any type of player, let alone Cooper Kupp, where a guy like Andy Reid. Anytime any player that goes to the Chiefs, I'm always like, damn, because just because that's how good a coach Andy Reid is. Because I believe in what he's doing over there. I believe in him as a head coach. I wish he coached for the Raiders. You know what I mean? If we're being honest, because he's an all-time coach. From his days with the Eagles. Yeah. He didn't win a Super Bowl there, but then obviously he became head coach for the Chiefs years ago, and now they got that ultimate quarterback head coach combination right now. And then we played them this week too, which it's the worst timing. Worst timing. It's like, damn, man, like I wish I can go into this game a little bit more like, all right, you know what? But going back to the game, like I said, defense played well. Offense laid an egg. Aidan O'Connell out for the season. Gets hurt early on. breaks his thumb, and Minshew. Gardner Minshew, let's talk about it real quick because he's just not bad. He's terrible. He's like, I don't see, he brings no value to the Raiders, like none, as a starting QB, as a backup QB. Now that contract looks even worse. Yeah. That contract even looks bad now. Before I was kind of, trying to make sense of it. I'm like, you know what, high-end backup money, low-end starter, but he's none of those. Like, he's not close to none of to those numbers. The Raiders need to cut their losses. I mean, I think we were talking about earlier, like, what were the numbers if the Raiders cut them this year? I believe if they cut them after the season.
If you cut them after this season, it's like a $7.5 million cap dead money hit, but we save about $6.5 million basically.
Yeah.
So his contract number next year is $14 million. So it's more advantageous for us to keep him this year and cut him next year. But he's not long for this team. He's not long for this team at all.
Look, man. Look. The GMs and the front office, they're always evaluating the team, who's going to stay here long term, who's available in the trade. They're always evaluating who they can get, who they can, unload and obviously get rid of. Especially, look, you just mentioned the Rams. They're looking to trade an aging veteran in Cooper Kupp, who's at this point injury prone. Minshew right now, what value does he bring?
None.
Like we've seen everything.
None.
We've seen him start. We've seen him come off the bench. His best game, I'll give him was the Baltimore game.
Yeah.
Where Max Crosby gave him a speech of his lifetime. It was like, hey, you got this. We believe in you.
Yeah.
And it was more, and to be honest with you, it was more the Devontae Adams show. It was more the Devontae Adams show in the fourth quarter. As much as I don't want to give him credit, and we'll get to Devontae Adams.
Devontae dropped some passes. Devontae dropped like 2 touchdown passes in that game too, though. So he ain't giving him too much credit. He ain't giving him too much credit.
He did, but he did take over the fourth. He did. The fourth quarter was he took it the fourth quarter. He had that crazy catch on the sideline. So I'm not going to not give him credit. But I'm just going to call it how I see it, and it just felt like it was more. And going into the season, it was always going to be more about the players around the quarterback than the quarterback, because we knew the quarterback play was average at best.
Yeah.
The quarterback room was average at best.
Yeah.
But now that we're seeing it,
Bowers.
Yeah, exactly. And now that we're seeing it play out, it's like, man, get rid of everybody in that quarterback room. But most importantly, we have to figure out a way to get rid of Minshew, because there's no way of making sense of paying him that amount of money and keeping him on the roster. Like, you already know that he's not bringing anything to the table. Like, none. I'm just. Can y'all tell me? Am I wrong? You know what I mean? And Assassin Creed says we don't have to worry about tanking.
Oh no, not at all, bro. Oh, not at all. Oh, that is.
Hey, it's the truth though. It's the truth, because even head coach Antonio Pierce said the other day, he says we're not tanking. We're just not a good football team.
Yeah.
And you know how Antonio like to keep it. He keeps it honest, and that was an honest statement right there.
Yeah, man. It's just strategic substitution season. Substitution season, right? They ain't calling it tanking. We're just gonna take a look. We're just gonna player evaluations. We're evaluating players for the future. It's strategic substitutions, brother. All season long.
Dan Dimmer says O-line sucks, rushed plays, terrible play calling. So
can't blame play calling.
Let me see if I could I gotta put a poll in the chat or something and see what you guys think. Or just let me know in the chat. Do you think AP gets fired, or do you think offensive coordinator Lou Getsy gets fired, or all of the above? Let me know in the chat. So does AP get fired first, Or is it Lou Getsy that gets fired? Or both? Everybody that, if AP gets fired, then everybody gets fired, pretty much. Let me know in the chat, man. I mean, and let me just throw that at you. Do you think, because right now it's getting louder, the noises is getting louder as far as coming from the fan base a little bit, because they're frustrated. They're trying to throw things at the wall and see what sticks, as far as like, hey man, we need, when things don't go well, like, hey, the coach said, but there's some truth to some of the criticisms they have on AP too, like as far as game management, but he's not even managing the game. It's someone else.
Technically, he has an advisor.
He has an advisor, and it's his first year at the job too, doing that job as well. So it's like, But what are your thoughts on that conversation, and what do you think is more likely to happen?
The most likely thing to happen is Lou Getsy gets fired. If we fire Antonio Pierce, man, look, I said this already. I said this with Josh McDaniels. It's just a bad look. I don't care what the fans think, what the fans want. You look at the professional landscape. What agent in their right mind is going to send their client, who perceivably has other offers, to this dumpster fire to watch him get fired after a year, maybe a year and a half if he's lucky, right? Like, who puts their client in that position? Nobody. With this roster that has a serious dearth of talent, doesn't have a quarterback, doesn't really have an aggressive GM that was willing to go up and make a move for a quarterback when they knew they needed a quarterback in the first place. So you look at all of that, and you're going to send your client here? Nah, man, nobody. We were already, categorized or voted as one of the most dysfunctional franchises by agents and executives. And that was after we fired Josh McDaniels, who was voted by the players as the worst head coach in the league, right? Even after seeing that, the agents said, yeah, this place is terrible. So imagine if we did that to Antonio Pierce after 1 year. A year after, all of these same fans that are calling for his head now were saying that if the Raiders don't hire him, they're basically going to boycott and not watch, because they would don't make that same mistake you made with Bisaccia. Don't do that again, right? It was a full-on fan-friendly hire. This hire was fan service, if nothing else, right? And the players advocated for him as well. And now we ain't even halfway into the season, and y'all saying fire this man after you guys already knew there would be growing pains with the rookie head coach. But it's ironic because some of them same people, as I said before, for some reason they think Aidan O'Connell is going to get better. They think Aidan O'Connell is going to be the answer at quarterback. But Antonio Pierce, he can't improve as a head coach. Aidan O'Connell, who's played quarterback for most of his life, right? Antonio Pierce, this is only his second time being a head coach, but he can't improve. But somehow Aidan O'Connell can improve. It doesn't make doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's right. Like I said, they're trying to figure out how they can figure out. They're trying to figure out how the Raiders can win, and they're trying to, when the Raiders win or when the Raiders lose, what's that saying about a quarterback or head coach get too much credit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think it's also true when they lose. They sometimes fans are just so quick to put all the blame on a head coach, all the blame on a quarterback. So it's the reason why like a lot of us like watching the NFL, because it takes so much for everything for it to work. You know what I mean? In order to win, it's so hard to win in the NFL it just feels like it's harder to win in the NFL compared to other sports. That's just my opinion of how I look at it, but because there's so many players that have to play, so many moving pieces and parts.
Yeah.
But that being said, I think Phil Jones from Unfiltered Truth had a great tweet. He said, man, like, backup quarterback, offensive line play has been inconsistent, backup receivers, injuries to the defense. There's a list of so many different reasons that's going wrong with this team. You're not going to win a lot of games. If you just realistic look at the team and be like, hey, this is This is a team that should win like 11 games. Like people look at you like you're doing drugs. Like it's because it doesn't make any sense for you to say that AP should be winning with the things that he has around him, and we should give him a more time. Now I will say, has it been perfect for AP? No. You gotta hold him accountable for the Luke Getsy hire. You know what I mean? If that doesn't work out, it looks like it's not gonna work out. You got to hold him accountable for that. At times, he just looks a little bit lost. Sometimes, like he kind of looks. Hey, man, he kind of low key looks a little bit defeated. Like he looks kind of stressed out. You know what I mean? I don't know if you're getting the same.
Pierce?
Yeah, Pierce. Like when you're watching him during the game, and I'm seeing him on the telecast. Like he probably has a lot going on. You know, head coach is different from being, someone on the staff, an assistant coach. Yeah. It's a whole lot on your plate, and everybody's pointing the finger on you, and you got to get it done. And I'm sure it's a whole lot of pressure. Tom Brady just became owner, minority owner, and he's going to have a lot of influence moving forward. We all know that. Does that mean AP is going to be his guy moving forward? Because I'm sure whatever Tom Brady wants to make happen with the roster, I'm sure Mark Davis is going to be right there behind him, and be like, yeah, do whatever he says. Yeah. So we'll keep an eye on that. But were you gonna say something?
I mean, he is a first-year head coach in a very tough situation on a team that was supposed to be carried by its defense, where its second-best defensive player got hurt before the season even started. Its third-best defensive player got hurt, a handful of games into the season, and then they don't have a quarterback. Like even Luke Getsy, right? Like people always point. This is the example people always point to with in terms of Antonio Pierce. They look at Dan Campbell. That's the example people look at, right? Because Dan Campbell, his first year, he's the Lions head coach. They go 3-13. Anthony Lynn is his coordinator, his offensive coordinator. He fires Anthony Lynn. The next year after that, they start winning. But guess what they had that first year with Anthony Lynn still? They still had Jared Goff that first year. So we knew that Anthony Lynn was just bad because he had a quarterback. He had a quarterback that had been to a Super Bowl, a quarterback that had shown that he can operate at some of the highest levels in the league. So we knew that it was obviously the problem is Anthony Lynn. Now, can we really point to Luke Getsy? Because I see guys open on film all the time, and neither one of our quarterbacks are hitting them, right? They're just not hitting them at all. They're either passing up the reads, holding the ball too long, or not throwing any type of anticipation, or in Gardner Minshew's case, throwing an interception or fumbling the damn ball. Like both of them are bad. Neither one of them are NFL level starters. So it's like, can you really say, hey, Luke Getsy, this is on you? Like, not really.
Yeah, and shout out to Steve, man. He says JD5 and Ridder had the same OC. Curious to see if Ridder can at least run the O better than Minshew. Shows that AOC is the QB Getsy wants. Yeah, I mean, if you look at like some of the offseason quotes that Getsy had, he just talks about how having a quarterback that can buy some time is something that's essential to that quarterback position. AOC does not fit that description. And we've been talking about Minshew. Let's get on to AOC because we got to keep it balanced. I seen a stat like a week ago. I think I might have sent it to you, Severe. It's terrible. It's a terrible stat. And I'm just gonna. I don't even have to say. I don't even have to get the exact stat. I'm just gonna ask this question: Have y'all ever seen AOC scramble for rushing yards? Apparently, there's a stat out there that says that he's never rushed. Like I think he's never had a QB rush, which has never been done before. And I think it was a stat from I forgot what that place was, but the more I think about it, I don't think I've ever seen AOC like rush from the I've never seen him try to get 2-3 yards, plays broken down. I've never seen him, and that's the problem. Yeah, like it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter that the quarterback plays a lot more different than it was years ago. We still seen Tom Brady, Rich Gannon, any quarterback.
Joe Flacco 2 weeks ago, Joe, like 20-something.
Joe Flacco. Just take it way back. Drew Brees, like all these quarterbacks, at some point maybe they were pocket passers, but they still were like, you know what? Even Peyton Manning, who's slow as hell. He's like, oh, y'all gonna play man-to-man defense? There's no QB spy. I'm gonna take 5 yards. You know what I mean? It was the slowest 5 yards, but he still made the defense play.
Exactly. And
it's just AOC doesn't have the instincts of that position. I don't know. He just doesn't have the capability, doesn't have the athleticism. And it's not even about athleticism to me, in my opinion, because I named some quarterbacks that, you know, they're not athletic, and they still found a way to at least, like, all right, you know what, like, I know nobody's open, but at least I can get some yards here. You know, make the defense pay a little bit. Make the defense think like, all right, you know what, we can't run this against this guy, at least for right now. But AOC, he's just a liability out there. It is what it is, man. And salute to Steve, man. Appreciate the super chat. I agree, man. AOC ain't what Getsy wants, but Getsy, I don't think is what Raider Nation wants. I don't think the Raiders want Getsy like that. I mean, I think did they move him to the booth?
They moved him to the booth. I mean, look, I keep telling people, that's like, people have, it's very like black and white with people, right? It's like, oh, either it's good or bad. It's good or bad, right? Oh, if the play is good, if it gets yards, oh, that was a good play call. But if it doesn't get yards, oh, it was a bad play call. But I'm telling you, there are often times where there are good play calls, and we're going to talk about one later on, where, you know, the offense just doesn't execute. And that's not on the offensive coordinator, right? Like, if he calls in the right play at the right time, then, and we don't execute the play, that's not his fault. That's on the player's fault. And I don't think we've put enough, I mean, we've put enough blame on Gardner Minshew, but I don't think we put enough blame on the offense and the personnel as a whole. This is like, we don't have any starting caliber skill position players right now, outside of maybe Madison and Bob.
Raider Ray in the building. He says, I knew it was over when he pulled that knick-knack paddywhack trash in the tunnel. I think he's talking about he was talking about Minshew. I think Minshew might have been. Minshew.
Did you hear Aidan O'Connell's pregame speech too? Like, it's two of the worst pregame speeches I've ever heard. The knick-knack paddywhack was trash. Then Aidan was like, okay, guys, we're going to go out here, we're going to play hard. And we're gonna, like, come on, bro. The AI could have wrote, like, neither one of these dudes are inspiring anybody. Yeah. Like, we need to just wash both of them out. I'd rather keep Aidan. At least he team control. He's a little bit younger, but he doesn't really fit the system, so he's likely gone as well.
He's likely gone. He's on like a cheap deal. Like, I'm sure, like, they're like, you know what? It's kind of like, it is what it is. Like, they're not really tripping off AOC, but then the Minshew is just like, damn, they're paying him
too much.
Even though the Raiders are gonna have plenty of cap space, it's the principle. You know what I mean? That's not how you do business. You gotta get something out of what you're. You know, you sign these contracts.
Oh, we getting something. We getting the top pick out of it.
We getting the top pick. You know what? Hey, appreciate that, Severe, man. Hey, look, I needed that, man. LT says Minshew's best games were in Indy. It looks like it. Looks like he benefited from having one of the best play callers. The Colts. I mean, we can agree that probably, the head coach, who was the former OC with the Eagles, who had their offense rolling, is a better offensive minded coach than, Getsy is. Yeah. So, and it's like
in Jacksonville too, though. So it's like it's part of it was Shane Steichen, of course. It's not all Shane Steichen.
I don't know, man. Minshew is just man,
terrible. He's terrible.
He's terrible.
Like, I was looking at something. I forgot. I think I was just looking at his stats and just doing the math. And over his first, I think he has like 37 starts, or 37 games played, not 37 starts. He averages like half an interception per game. And then for us, it's like damn near 3 interceptions per game he's averaging as a starter. It's like, it's crazy exponential growth from where he was to where he is now. It's like he just fell off a freaking cliff overnight. Like he's never really like a starter. Never really shouldn't be a guy you give the keys to your franchise. But he was never this bad. Like this is like some of the worst quarterbacking I've ever seen in my life. It's just terrible.
And you know, it's crazy. People talk about like, oh, like previously we put that message up there. Salute to Protect the Shield. My guy, man, if you haven't subscribed, make sure to head over there and subscribe. If you just look at his stats from last year, he had like 15 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Like that's his best year.
Yeah.
Damn, our Raider standards can't be that low, man. I ain't gonna lie. I know y'all hate Derek Carr, but Derek Carr way better. He way better.
Derek Carr
way better. It's not even close. No. Derek Carr is a frustrating QB to watch, but it's not even close. Like Minshew, I can't even. It's hard to watch the game. Like it's like, damn, man. Like you said, I think we talked about it earlier. You said if he just didn't turn the ball over, the Raiders had a chance to win that game on Sunday. Game was 15-20. We win. There you go.
It's not even a chance. We win. We were able to. Our running game was doing well. I think we're averaging like 4 yards a carry. Like Zamir was averaging 4 yards, average like 4 yards a carry for his carry. Like we'd be able to run the ball, take the air out the ball. Shout out to Tom Brady and win the game like that, right? You just running the rock the entire game, like throwing a pass here at air, throw a screen pass to Brock, yada yada, and just run the ball the entire game. But the fact that he put us in position where we had to throw against. So instead of trying to run the ball against one of the worst rush defenses in the league, we had to try to throw the ball against a team that is one of the top pass rushing teams in terms of pressure rate in obvious passing situations. So like those turnovers completely flipped what we wanted to do offensively and put what we had to do directly aligned with the strength of that defense. And we're in a position to win. Even with all that, still in a position to win. It's crazy.
Hey, man. And just to move it along, before we move it along, I see people mention his name, man. Jack Jones, man. Yet another game where he's getting embarrassed out there. Like, do you... Like, he's been taking a lot of heat lately. You know what I mean? Especially because before the season, I think the expectations were high, like really high with Jack Jones. Yeah. On top of that, he's over here calling out Madden and saying, hey, y'all gave me you got me the worst ratings, and he should have had a better rating for Madden, and this, that, and the third. He's getting embarrassed out there. I think it was a play. I just remember where he got stiff arm. Went up high on a running back. You know what I mean? I don't think a lot of DBs are going to win against a running back going up high. Like, it's just not going to happen. I mean, do you think Jack Jones is going to be on this roster next year?
He'll be here next year.
You think he'll be on it? Because I know he's still on a rookie deal, but he's coming up on his last year on the deal. Like, and he was kind of the business decision. Like one of the main guys leading the business decision. Everybody talking about Devontae and this, Devontae that. But, he was clearly benched an early portion of that game a couple weeks ago. I'm just saying, like, do you think it's a guy that, like, they continue to count on? Because I think corner is going into the offseason. I think that might be that's going to be a spot that they need to upgrade in. Because we don't have a true number one. Maybe Bennett is the guy to develop, but do you want to gamble again? You want to take that gamble and take that risk? Like, hey, is Bennett a number one corner or is he a number two?
Now, I think both Jack Jones and Jacorian Bennett are likely like number two corners. Jacorian Bennett, like I would never thought I would say this. Jacorian Bennett has more of a chance to develop into a number one corner with the way he's been playing. But I think part of Jack Jones's problem is that he's focused on the wrong things. He was focused on everything outside, focused on, hey, I'm going to prove these guys wrong. And, I'm slighted. And, you're focused on all these outward things. Just focus on yourself. Do what you need to do to be the best player that you can be, right? Those pressures hit, like I said before, those pressures hit different when you're the number one corner and you have those expectations to go up against the other team's best wide receiver, play in and play out, right? So, and he's been struggling with that. But I think this is going to be one of those situations where sometimes you need to be humble. You need to be humbled, and that's when you get back to the lab and you kind of get back to the things that got you to where you were. You start to you start breaking down your own tape, rediscovering what made you the player that you had been. And I think that this is one of those humbling moments for him. And I think that he's gonna hit this offseason hard. And I think he'll come back a better player next year.
Yeah, I hope so. Man, because we had high hopes, and I just felt like right now he's just and I don't think he's playing like terrible. I think that's the thing. Like, people are making it seem like he's playing like terrible. But you made a point to me, like during the offseason, where like, hey, look, if AP's not here, Jack Jones is probably gonna be one of those guys that might be let go, because he's a guy that AP brought in and seems like he could play well under AP, but this year he hasn't played like that, so it's kind of like it's a tough situation. But I think he has one more year. He has one more year left on his rookie deal, so next year will be his last season. And the Raiders got some decisions to make this offseason too. Nate Hobbs balled out, on Sunday. And I think is he on his last year? I think Hobbs might be on his last year. So that's a guy like the Raiders, man, definitely need to bring back. You know what I mean? You got to bring back the good players, in my opinion. So, and we got a whole lot of money in. Look, we're not, a lot of people bring up that money, that free agency. We've seen it time and time again. You can't build through free agency. You're not going to win consistently by building through free agency. But what you can do is retain the good players that are going to be that you have. So I think Telesco, if he's smart, which I'm sure he is, I'm just saying he has to keep Nate Hobbs, bring back Nate Hobbs. We got to bring him back. Got to bring him back and bring back Kuntz. I know it's going to be like a 1-year deal. I know he's hurt. Bring back Kuntz. Bring back some of these players, man. Would you say bring back Divine Diablo?
I would bring, depending on what the cost. I'll bring him back. I mean, I think he's played. I think he's played well this year. But as I said, It depends on what that. If you can find an upgrade, I'm for sure. I'm okay with the upgrade at any position. So if you find somebody better at a reasonable cost, hey, by all means. But if he's willing to come back on a fair market deal, I'd bring him back.
Yeah, I gotta put this poll out, man. Some people are saying AP gets another shot. OC needs to get fired. Rambo's like whole coaching staff this offseason. Whoo! Hey, man, he's going for the kill shot, man. He wants everybody gone. Oh, Lake Show's right with them too. AP, Getsy, and Telesco. Telesco, he's gonna get more time. I mean, I thought he had a solid draft. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't perfect. Like the way they addressed the quarterback position, I put that on Telesco. That's all Telesco.
Definitely.
The contract to Minshew, Telesco. Some of the moves, offensive line, like there's certain things that we addressed that we didn't address on the offensive line. We kind of went into the season that kind of hurt us a little bit, but maybe you can get on AP because are you sold on the offensive line coach, James Craig?
Yeah. But
did
AP make the hire, or is that to Getsy at that point?
Is that Marvin Lewis? Is that Joe Philbin? I don't know. Is one of his advisors? AP. Hopefully he can look back at this year. Now hopefully he gets another year and he looks back and he makes the proper adjustments. Because everything is gonna fall under him. He's gonna have to make the final call, and he has to understand that. And I'm sure he does. But man, we got people saying AP is going to keep Getsy as a scapegoat. There you go. If AP stays, someone has to be a scapegoat.
Yeah.
And if y'all heard Mark Davis' comments about AP and Telesco. Like, he seems invested in keeping AP. Like, that's a guy, like, he's not gonna. But that's what he said about McDaniels.
Yeah.
You know, until that fan that harassed him. I think that was like that was it after the game? I don't know. What was it, during the game, or it was like they caught him a couple of times.
It was they caught him a few times. The first time when he was like telling him to smarten up, that was during the game, I want to say.
Yeah. But hey, let's move it along, man. It's that time. You already know what it is, man. It's flag on the play.
Personal foul, 69, offense. He was giving them the business.
Hey, man, it is that time. It's flag on the plays where we talk about some things that happened over the weekend around the NFL, the Raiders, doesn't matter, that we have issues with. And Severe, if you want to give the people the first flag on the play, you want to give me an intro to it real quick before.
Oh yes. Everybody's favorite wide receiver, Davante Adams. He orchestrated a trade away from the Raiders to go play with his best friend, Aaron Rodgers. And I think he did not anticipate his first game going quite like this. We have the highlights here, and oh boy, are there some amazing plays.
I think I'm going to get a... Man, hey, but you know what? That was a great tackle, though. That was a touchdown.
I wish Jack Jones was
saving.
tackling like that.
So if we want to break down this play, like Severe, if you want to break down this play, like it's obviously it was an interception here, and Aaron Rodgers throws it as a pick.
It's a pick.
Number 31 is returning.
Davante Adams, he's showing great speed. The guy sees the DB sees him.
Yeah,
and he's trying to run away from him.
Yeah.
And this is almost like a lion in the wilderness chasing down a gazelle. Hops on his back, and he has the wherewithal not to get a horse collar and not to get a hip drop. That's why they paid him the big bucks. That's why they were willing for plays like this. This is why they were willing to give the Raiders all the money for his contract. It's for him to make plays like this. It's bravo. Does
Davante play offense or defense? I thought he played offense, but he might make a good. What would you say? Where would you put Davante? Where would you put Davante if you had to put him on defense? Where'd you put Davante?
I put him at safety. He's too slow to be a corner.
He's too slow to be a corner. Yeah, we'll put him at safety. Let's put him at safety, man. But Davante Adams, man, all that talk definitely gets this week's flag on the play for his performance. I mean, we got to call it. We're out here just obviously having fun and just making fun of him or whatever. But we all know Davante's a great player, but it just seems kind of funny that he goes from a 2-5 team to another 2-5 team, and it's like, man, like the Raiders are really about to get a 3rd-round pick for him. I mean, I was really hoping that Davante would get All-Pro or the Jets were going to reach the AFC Championship game, but that is definitely not going to happen. I mean, I'm not going to bet on it at all because at this point, like Davante, he might have a good game here and there, but the Jets have their own problems. I think we all know their offensive coordinator right now, their play caller, Todd Downing. You already know who he is. He's not the guy with the best reputation at offensive coordinator. Yes. And then, just coming in the middle of the season and like they just have a lot of things going on. Like I don't even know why they fired Robert Saleh. I mean, I'm not a Jets fan. I'm not going to act like I follow. Yeah. Does his name rhyme with Bodgers?
Yeah. We know why. But yeah, man. I mean, it's Davante left a team, right? He was traded from a team that was 2-5 coming off it's 2-4 coming off a loss to the Steelers to go to a team that was 2-4 that subsequently lost to the Steelers. So, I mean,
Yeah.
Devontae, he keeps it consistent. He really keeps it consistent. And one thing I will say I noticed in that game is that Justin Fields is suck. Man, I told y'all about Justin Fields. I told y'all he was no good. Y'all was pointing to that punk-ass record that they had, trying to say it was Justin Fields. I told y'all he was no good. As soon as Russell Wilson got in there, what their offense looked like? Way better. Way better than it looked before. I told y'all. Keep that nonsense about Justin Fields to yourselves. Now, I don't never hear nothing about this man again. Nothing.
Oh, man. Hey, you knew he was going to bring it up. You knew he was going to bring it up. You knew he was going to bring it up. Yeah, man. They put up 37 points out there, man. Like, looked like a better offense. I mean, I don't think Wilson had the greatest game, but he got the job done. Offense, they obviously scored like 37 points. And you could just see how the players react. There was like a clip. I wish I had it up here, but you can see how like Najee Harris and old boy the receiver that pretty much Pickens
let the cat out the bag.
There's a funny clip where they were like Tomlin was trying to keep the starting quarterback for the recent game against the Jets under wraps. Like he was trying to say like, oh, it's a game time decision. And then Pickens, they asked Pickens like, hey, so now how does it look out there playing with Russell Wilson and da-da-da-da? Yeah, man, he said something.
Like, yeah, he's out there getting the first team reps. You know, this is gonna be his first start. It's like what?
Bro, that dude's hilarious, man. But it is what it is. Flag on a play for Davante Adams. But we're not done. We are not done, man. We got one more flag on a play. If you want to give the intro to this flag.
There was a rematch between the last two Super Bowl opponents and the Chiefs and the 49ers. And there were two questionable situations that happened in this game, right? One was a Patrick Mahomes scramble where you can tell the defenders let up because they didn't want to hit him going out of bounds, and he scored in a touchdown run. That was going to be flag on the play, but there's one even worse. After a play, they're getting up Trent Williams and a linebacker for the Chiefs, and the linebacker hits Trent Williams in the head, and he retaliates, and somehow Trent Williams is the one that gets ejected out of the game. You'll see it all play out right here.
Let's go ahead and see it.
Oh, right. Don't see that. Trent Williams said, yeah. Oh,
definitely flag on a play, but they got the wrong guy.
Yeah, the wrong guy.
It's a classic case of, they always catch the retaliation. They always catch the retaliation. They never catch well, sometimes they catch the first time it happens, but we see this all the time. Like you'll see a player retaliating and then that guy gets the flag. But yeah, definitely flag on a play. Man, who would you take, man, if it was 1-on-1, man, with Trent Williams?
Obviously I'm taking nothing, man. Trent Williams. Nobody wants to mess with Trent Williams, bro. I don't know, like this dude didn't have that kind of rep coming out of Oklahoma. Like nobody, like he wasn't like known as like some super like tough dude, but like nobody wants to mess with Trent Williams at all, bro. Like it's crazy. Like nobody wants to smoke with Trent Williams.
Except for number 6, though. Number 6, he's like, hey,
apparently he tried to get him on the slick though. He tried to get it like when like it be the one small dude and he trying to fight the big dude, but he's when everybody around, he know people ain't gonna let him fight. It's one of those situations like, oh yeah,
you think so?
Talking all that stuff. But if I catch you by yourself, you ain't gonna be talking like that.
Or was he really thinking like ahead where he's like, hey, if I can catch this guy slipping and the ref see me or see him get back at me, then he gets kicked out the game or whatever the case may be. It could be one of those, but I'm not sure if he was thinking that way. But yeah, man, definitely flag on the play. Let's see what everybody's talking about right now, man. Everybody's talking about the clean house. I gotta catch up in the chat right now, but Moon over Miami says clean house. Yes on Bill Belichick. No, we can't. No, hell no. Hey, I've seen that rumor too, man. I've seen since Tom Brady is now a minority owner for the Raiders, he's trying to bring Bill Belichick. I don't believe that, man. I gotta believe it till I see it, man. Hell no. That is, if Mark Davis okays that, Man.
That relationship didn't end on good terms. People forget. Like, that relationship did not end on good terms at all. Like, in fact, Bill Belichick tried a few times to push Tom Brady out early, and Robert Kraft said no. Right. And, he's able to get an extra Super Bowl out of it because he said no. But, if live it up to Bill Belichick, I want to say Jimmy Garoppolo's second year in the league, Jimmy Garoppolo would have been a starter of the Patriots, and Tom Brady would have been elsewhere. So,
yeah,
I don't think they're going to have any kind of reunion anytime soon.
Steve says, "Hey, I don't see AP getting fired. I think Tom likes AP type of coach, like Mike Variable types. I think Tom will recruit an offensive staff, though." Man, that'd be crazy. That's real. That's to have that much influence. You're influencing who gets hired on the offensive staff.
Yeah,
that'd
I would
crazy.
hope a GM doesn't have that kind of influence.
That's some Al Davis type, and I kind of talked about that on Around the Shield last week, man. Make sure to tune in. We do that every Fridays. My guys Severe and Big Mike Raider, and we talked about the impact of Tom Brady and him, and I implied like, hey, look, this is the guy that Mark Davis was talking about, someone that he can trust to oversee the GM and head coach.
Exactly.
He hasn't made anything official, and then he brings in Tom Brady as owner, and there's a standing ovation, and he was trying to sell the Raiders for the cheap. This is how bad Mark Davis wanted Tom Brady in the building. So Tom Brady is going to be that guy, and Tom Brady, I think, is going to go in there like, hey, look, we need to make this happen, and Mark Davis is going to be there to back him up. So, and we haven't had that since Mark Davis. I mean, not since Al Davis, where a guy can come in and just be the final like shot caller. I mean, you probably could say John Gruden was that to a certain extent, but but Tom Brady he's an owner. He's an actual owner. He's not a head coach. He's not he's not a GM. He's the owner of the team, and he's going to come in and start calling shots like that. I got to see it to believe it, though. But I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it. I honestly don't think AP is going anywhere this season or next. I think he'll get this year and next year, especially if he gets a rookie quarterback or a more competent quarterback. I think he gets at least these 2 full years, possibly a third. Really, to be honest with you, but but it's not like Tom Telesco has been great at hiring coaches. Like he had Mike McCoy, I think it was the first coach he hired. Then it was Anthony Lynn. Then it was Brandon Staley. Like, do these names inspire confidence? Or any of these guys still around the league right now doing anything of note? Like, no, these dudes are washouts. None of them got another head coaching opportunity again. None of them probably will. So I'm not, so people ready to just entrust the keys to the franchise to Tom Telesco. Like, one of the reasons we said Tom Telesco might have been an okay hire is because the head coaching decision had already been made. Like, his biggest weakness was hiring head coaches. His other weakness was the cap, but we know that was some nepotism there with the owners, children kind of doing the contracts. But he was hiring the coaches, and he was not good at it. So are we going to trust him to do that here? Like, why? That doesn't make any sense.
Right. Real quick, my guy Armando, man, appreciate you coming through. He says, Pharaoh, bro, Raiders can still make the season for me. Just beat the Chiefs and pay back on the Chargers and Broncos. I hope Santa Claus is listening. Hey, man, I'm be honest with you, man. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's happening. I mean, Armando, I'm trying. Look, I'm usually over here trying to look at the positive and see where it can go, and I still can be that way. My positivity is more long term. I'm like, hey, look, the Raiders have an opportunity to get their quarterback of the future in this upcoming draft, potentially franchise QB on a rookie deal, where you can build a team where we have when you have a quarterback that's on a rookie deal, then you could make other positions around him even better. But in order for that to happen, the Raiders, they I'm gonna be honest with you, like they can't win just enough games to miss the playoffs, but not get a quarterback. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Let's be real. But I hope if they win a game, if they win a Chiefs, it better be the only game. I really want us to get a top 3 pick. Like, hell no. Hey, look, the Raiders had a number 13 pick. Look at what Jaden Daniels is doing. Look at what Caleb Williams is doing. Look at what some of these quarterbacks are doing. The Raiders couldn't trade up. They had an excuse. They said, oh, well, no teams were trying to negotiate a deal to trade up. Well, why don't we take that excuse out the way and actually get a top pick? And now I was like, oh, you're talking about tanking. I really, I'm talking about tanking. I don't care, bro. We got to go for it. We got to go for it. I don't care. I don't care what anybody says. Y'all can come through the chat, leave a comment. I want to hear from y'all, man. But y'all can't tell me that y'all can just stand for what we're seeing every Sunday. We don't have a quarterback. We don't have a good team. It's just not good enough. And we're not going to win enough games to be anything in this division when you got Patrick Mahomes on the other side and obviously all these other quarterbacks in the AFC. Like, you got to have a quarterback in the NFL. Like, and for everybody that's calling for AP's job, like, how do you really go in on AP when I understand he's not perfect, but we don't have a quarterback. Like, he doesn't have opportunity. You got to give him an opportunity to actually have his own guy back there. But Armando, I feel you, man. I'm tired of the Raiders losing, but I'm thinking long term at this point. Raider Paul, my guy, says I want a Harbaugh, Bo Nix. Oh well, wanted AP. Nah, hell, I don't want no Bo Nix. Harbaugh. Yeah. I wanted Harbaugh when he left the 49ers. That's when I wanted Harbaugh, but he chose to go to Michigan, so that's on him. Yeah. Daniel Kim, Dan Campbell fired Lynn, hit gold with Johnson, and brought in that QB that could throw. We need a quality OC to run the offense. Facts. 100%. And to give AP benefit of the doubt, because everybody's talking about AP, he did go after Cliff Kingsbury. That was his first choice. First choice. And Kingsbury looks pretty solid out there with the Commanders. Yeah. And a rookie QB.
Yeah.
Raider Paul says AP not a head coach. Hey, I'm not gonna lie. Like, there's a side to me where I'm like, please do not be Michael Singletary. Please do not be Michael Singletary.
Yeah.
Because there's a little bit of that too. I'm just like, man, like, look, a lot of rah-rah, but as far as being a head coach, but you just can't fire a head coach after one season. Like, is it possible? Can we do it? Yes, but like, I don't know, man. It's going to be another. It just feels like we're just going to be going backwards if we fire a head coach again.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those situations where I think Michael, like, I'm one of the people that was initially the most anti Antonio Pierce, right? Like, I was out the gate, like, I was like Bobby Slowick, Ben Johnson, go after him. If we're gonna do it, go after them. Yeah, but then once it became once he won the Chiefs game, it was basically inevitable he was gonna be the coach, and I kind of got on board. But now that he is the head coach, you have to give him time. You can't just cut him out at the knees, like at the first sign of trouble. That's the problem with this organization. We keep doing the same thing over and over and wondering, like, oh, why can't we find a head coach? Or why doesn't any of these young offensive coordinators want to come here? Like, well, you don't understand why. Like you keep firing these people before they have an opportunity. So, like, we can't keep going through the same cycle over and over again.
See, all right, if Mark was playing chess, if he really wanted to go a different route, and if he was playing chess, he would have let McDaniels coach out the season last season.
That was my opinion.
If you want to keep it real, he would have let him coach out the entire season. For all everybody is talking about AP needs to go and all this, let's take it all the way back from last year. If Mark really wanted to if he was looking ahead, right, and like, all right, you know what, maybe McDaniels is not the guy. I'm going to get rid of him at the end of the season. It looks like you would let him play out the season. Most likely, we're not going to win enough games. We then have a top 10 at least, top 5 pick, and then you get that quarterback. We get a Michael Penix. We get possibly Jane Daniels.
Possibly.
You know what I mean? But the other side is that we would have never found out about AP. But
I mean, most of these people want him gone anyway. So, like, no harm, no foul. Most of these people want him gone regardless. So it's like, is okay. So instead of AP, who do we have? We probably have Harbaugh in that scenario, right? We probably don't. We probably have Harbaugh. We probably have, if not the guy that Harbaugh brought in, what I forget his name. That's the GM. If not him, Ed Dodds.
mm-hmm.
Maybe it's Harbaugh and Ed Dodds, which is a combination we had kind of talked about prior to hiring Josh McDaniels and then prior to hiring Antonio Pierce as well. So I mean, all these people want Antonio Pierce gone. So I don't think they mind like, oh, we wouldn't find out about AP. Like, well, they don't want him here regardless. But at this point, he's here, so he has to be given a fair shake. He has to be given a fair shake.
Rambo says he is not a head coach. He is a cheerleader, cannot devise a defensive, offensive plan, has to have people tell him when to challenge, when to go for it. So what is he? A cheerleader in pants? Whoo, damn. He's coming after him. But, hey, look, to be fair, though, like, not every head coach is an X's and O's guy.
Exactly.
But what makes them successful is that they have other qualities that can lead a team. You know what I mean? You might call it a cheerleader, but it's kind of hard right now because obviously the team right now is not winning games and they look kind of defeated a little bit. So it's kind of tough. But what makes those types of coaches good is they have to have a good staff around them. And I'm not sure if we have a great staff around them, possibly because if you look at the defensive staff, okay, Patrick Graham, we can all agree that we like Patrick Graham, but obviously Luke Getsy's not a guy that we 100% like kind of believe in as far as a guy that you would want to develop a young QB in and moving forward be the OC for this team. So that needs to be improved. And look, man, like I'm just saying, like we got to give him more time, man. Like. Man, it's man. People are going like they really want to fire. Man, that's dysfunction of the Raiders, man. We are so used to dysfunction. We want to fire people after 2 games, 3 games, 4 or 5 games. Like, you know what? I've seen enough. We got to fire this dude.
What's crazy is that I'm not even gonna take it there, but there are certain people, and I can point out the people in the chat that support certain people for certain positions, very important positions, and these people don't know shit about that position at all, but they still support that person no matter what. And you know who I'm talking about, and you know what I'm talking about. So this person is totally unqualified for that job, but they still support him. Why? I wonder why. Wholly unqualified for that position.
M85s, I'm impatient, bitter, but loyal. Okay, man, that's fair. Campbell says Campbell from Lions did bad his first season. Now look at the team he built. Yeah, I like the Lions example. Does it mean that history is going to repeat itself? No, but I like that example. That's a great comparison because it's almost kind of the same. They're like the same type of, head coach where they kind of lean on what? Their staff. AP inherited a mess. Give him time to build a foundation with yeah, exactly. Let's just look at the team around him. Like, how are you supposed to win games? Like, how are you supposed to win games with Minshew? How are you supposed to win games with AOC? How are you supposed to win game with the injuries that they have on defense? Like, man, they're the biggest free agent signing out for the season. They say he might come back, but is he? You know what I mean? Like the type of injury that he had, he broke his foot, and he's a big guy. Like he probably needs some time to recover. And then you obviously got Kuntz, and he's out. And then you got Marcus Epps, he's out for the season. Like there's some injuries on that team that you got to admit that it's hurting the Raiders. The Raiders have to put our QB first in the draft for this team. If Sanders is less than promising, draft QB again. Yeah, QB is a harder position to get. You got to keep attacking that position damn near every offseason.
Yeah.
Jeff Walker said, let's look at the Raiders realistically. We have a cloud over us as an organization. Man. I said that the other day, man. It's like I'm tired of this losing, man. I'm like tired of not just tired of losing, just tired of watching meaningless football games. Like,
exactly,
man. Leo says it's funny how no one can give him credit for how defense is playing, even with all the injuries, but quick only to blame him for offense and bad situational football. Good point. I got Leo coming through.
Facts.
Let's move it along, man. To notable quotables, real quick. If you want to give the intro to the first quote.
So, in light of all that's going on, all the people questioning AP's job, the trade of Devontae Adams, there's speculation around another foundational piece for the Raiders, and whether or not he will be traded. And he's laid the rumors to rest several times, but on his podcast he did it one more time.
Rambo, man, he said good thing for man, you're funny, man. You got jokes. All right, real quick, man, give me 1 second. Yeah, this is the Max Crosby, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Max. So all this talk, man, about Max Crosby being the next one being traded, and the Raiders need to get something for him before he leaves, and yada yada yada. Come on, man. Let me go ahead and play this clip here. Oh man, where did you
IG?
Did you send it?
IG?
Yeah.
It should be on IG. I sent it on IG.
Oh yeah. Here we go.
I feel like, I gotta address it with my teammates. You know what I mean? I know it's a business. You know what I mean? I don't have 100% control all that, but I want to be here. I want to be silver and black. I'll say it loud and clear. I want to be a Raider. I've said that over and over and over again. I know at the end of the day, just seeing all the craziness, it's been insane. You know what I mean? I can't even open my phone. Every 2 seconds, it's Lions fans, Falcons fans, Bears fans. It's me in an edit in a different jersey, and I'm like, what the is this turned into? And then I make one comment in the press conference last week, and then that's when it even went even crazier. Yeah. And I wasn't trying to say anything. I was literally just saying all I'm trying to do is win. I don't care where I'm at. I don't care what I'm speaking. I don't give a fuck where I'm at. If I'm in a basketball game of pig, I'm trying to win that motherfucker. That's how I am. You know what I mean? And y'all know me better than anybody. That's who I am, bro. I'm not trying to lose nothing. So I've made my stance over and over and over again. Where I want to be, what I want to do. I'm not going to even say that. You already know where I stand. I don't need to explain shit. You know where I'm at on Sundays. I'm out there hunting motherfuckers and dominating. And that's what I plan on doing and getting better every single week.
Man.
Hey.
If that ain't shut down the rumors, I mean, it's still not going to go away. I mean, if the Raiders continue to lose and you got a great player, there's always going to be that noise. Obviously, with Devontae, we thought it was smoke, but then we found out that it was coming from it wasn't coming from the media. It was obviously coming from
Devontae had
side.
the cigarette himself.
Exactly. But I believe Max, man. I think Max wants to be a Raider. Max wants to be a Raider. He was drafted by the Raiders. He's a Raider through and through. He embraces Raider Nation.
Yes.
Look, I believe Max. I think that's just something the media just wanted to make up and just have something to talk about. So definitely good to hear Max Crosby shut down the rumors, man. Because, man, if Max ain't on that defense, man, this team gonna be tough to watch, man. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Impossible to watch, bro.
100%. Beargoon says it's the old Al way. He fired coaches like crazy. Some fans are used to it. Man, that's what I'm saying. When we're used to just firing head coaches, firing people left and right to the point where we're used to it. But if you think about it, it doesn't work. You gotta have some level of consistency. You gotta give a head coach at least 3 years. You know what I mean? Some might say 5 years. You know what I mean? Like, that's just when you see these contracts that they sign. Was it McDaniels like a 6-year deal, 5-year deal? You know what I mean? These GMs and coaches. Yeah. So at least 3 years. But you never know, man. You never know, especially with Tom Brady coming into the building, man. I think that's the one thing where it has me thinking a little bit like it's possible. And let me throw this out there to you. Can you see a situation where AP gets let go and the Raiders go after Mike Vrabel? I've seen that rumor. I've seen people talk about that, like that connection. Former head coach, Tennessee Titan.
Maybe, but maybe, possibly, but like he low key flamed out once Arthur Smith left. And then he hired Tyler Downey, right? So it's like,
right.
So you want to coach, like Mike Vrabel is not really like an X's and O's guy himself. Then you wanted a guy that knows how to hire offensive coordinators. So I think he got the Arthur Smith hire right. Then he hires Todd Downey.
Yeah.
So it's like, is that the guy you really want to trust making those decisions? So it's, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. But, like they have that Patriots connection, so I could see something like that possibly happen. But like I said, I think AP gets the rest of this year and all the next year at the very least. Least.
This is random, but this is a obviously I think Alabama, they're on like a losing streak, or are they on losing? I think they might be on a losing streak. They lost a couple games. And I don't know if a fan calls into this show, and I was listening to it, man, it had me cracking up. I'm just going to go ahead and play it real quick. Hold on.
Of their coach. Well, our team is undisciplined and soft. And no doubt you, Coach DeBoer, are undisciplined and soft. You have come down here in the South. I don't know who told you, Coach DeBoer, that you can't confront players. Let me tell you something. If you confront them and they want to leave, tell their ass to hit the door. Alabama faking injuries, making jump shots behind offensive plays. What the hell kind of coaching staff have we brought down here to the greatest program in the whole damn world? I blame you, Greg Burns. I blame your ass.
Man, I heard that, but I was cracking up, man. But that's the type of passion, man, some people have, man, for their team, man. But and I'm kind of like, I'm a Raider fan. I'm a fan of the Raiders, but I'm just like, at this point, I'm just like, damn, man, same old. I'm not even mad. I don't even.
They've only lost 2 games though.
They've
only lost twice.
They
only lost
twice. But the standard over there is so high because it's Alabama football, man.
They coming off of Nick Saban. Alabama football was trash for a minute, and then Nick Saban went back there and revived it. So, like,
yeah,
these people but Bear Bryant had one of the best programs for a while, and then it was solid to good for a while. Then it was trash for a little while, and then Nick Saban went there and he saved it. So, Like the brand wasn't that great before Nick went over there and put it back, to his original glory. So,
Yeah. But that's not the end of the notable quotables. We got more coming our way, man. And if you want to give the intro to the next notable quotable.
So as I alluded to earlier, talking about you can't always blame the plays, the play call. Sometimes it's the execution of the play. This is Alexander Madison talking about a missed opportunity that happened near the goal line. And if you watch the all 22 of this particular play, if it's executed properly, it's a walk-in touchdown.
Oh, real quick, man, I didn't even see it, man. My guy, Smoke with the super chat real quick. Let me go ahead and move this out the way. Let me get to the super chats. He said, y'all ain't getting shit for Xmas. With Chris, hey, man, I'm just being out. Hey, look, I'm just being honest, man. Like, if it happens, I will be here. I'll be here. Say it again.
So I think we got one more after that, too.
Yep, I see it. Hey, I'm just, look, if the Raiders win, if the Raiders get to the playoffs this season, I will be the first to be like, I was wrong. But I got to call it like I see it. I don't see it. I'm not sure if we win another game. Like, realistically. Like, I'm over here talking about tanking, but I just don't, like, how are they going to win another game?
Yeah.
With the injuries they have on defense, the quarterback play right now is just terrible. Y'all talking about Luke Getsy, pair Luke Getsy with no quarterback, and how that looks like. Maybe we'll talk about possibly, how it can work out, but it's not looking too good. My guy, Black Sales Sports Talk in the building, my guy, man. Appreciate the super chat. He says, "What's good, fam? Everyone ended to calm down. Too many injuries and stuff out of AP control to judge him fairly. 120 minutes. Yeah, give him time. Facts.
Yeah.
100%. Give him time, man. Like, give him a quarterback. Draft a young QB. Get the right offensive coordinator in the building that can help develop the quarterback with good play calling and a good system that fits his skill set. Obviously, there's some other upgrades that need to happen on this team as well. Let's look. And at the end of the day, man, like, you gotta give it some time. Like, that's just how it works. You can't just hire a coach and fire him the next season. This is not McDaniels all over again. Now, did I have my doubts about McDaniels after the first year? Yes, but I was like, hey, we got to give it more time. And then going into that second, whew, that was just like an exception to the rule. McDaniels was an exception to the rule, but I was surprised when McDaniels got fired. I was surprised, even though I was surprised that he didn't finish out the season.
Same here.
You know what I'm saying? But anything could happen, and the only thing that has me thinking about AP not coming back is not even at Mark Davis. Mark Davis actually came out and supported Telesco and AP and vouched for him and said that they need more time. It's his first year as head coach. This is at the NFL owners meeting. The one thing that gives me a little bit thought is Tom Brady. It's the only thing. I'm like, Tom Brady might just come in there and just be like, you know what? Let's go after this guy, Mark. This is the guy. It can happen. It can happen, man.
Even then, I don't know if, because Tom Brady understands that he understands how first of all, he understands how important the quarterback position is to a team, because he was a quarterback. So I'm sure he's going to put extra value on that position in terms of its importance, because I'm sure he feels like, they won those games because of me. So I think he's going to look at the situation we have a quarterback and say, this is quite possibly the worst quarterback situation I've ever seen of all time. I remember I said that last year, right? I said that last year, and people laughed, and they said, oh, we're not worse than this team or that team. And I said, oh, no, we are dead last. And it's come to fruition. We have the worst quarterback situation. Maybe Tennessee has one worse than us, possibly. But we have one of the worst quarterback situations in the league. So until you get that resolved, you can't do anything. You can't you look at the Texans, right? Like the Texans were a dysfunctional franchise. They tried to hire Josh McCown, they couldn't. So they hired Lovie Smith as like a placeholder. And then they bring in CJ Stroud and DeMeco Ryans, and now they're doing well, right?
Yeah.
So like quarterback can change your fortunes, and one quarterback can change your fortunes.
No, facts. I agree, and that's why I'm putting so much emphasis on it, because this is a quarterback's league. It's not the end all be all. We all see teams win without a quarterback, but this is not the team.
No.
Everybody was calling out, oh, this is going to be a top 10, top 5 defense. And that wasn't the case. And guess what? We start losing the games because we start depending on Minshew to bring us back, keep us in the game, or AOC, bring us back, keep us in the game, and they're not getting it done, especially when you don't have no run game to speak of. Yeah. But it's come alive, the last few weeks. Yeah. But we all seen the start to the season. It was literally passing offense was there, but look, if you want to call it that way, and the running offense was obviously Zamir fumbling and at the wrong times, Dylan Lobby fumbling at the wrong times. I think the Raiders statistically are one of the worst rushing teams in the NFL right now. So that should tell you how the season started.
Yes.
Man, we got people pulling up left and right, man. But my guy Bosco says, don't nobody want Crimson Chin Mike Verbal. Hey, you know what? Yeah, you know what? I thought about it because I'm just thinking about, like, he did have some teams where they won some games, but I'm just thinking about, like, offensively, like bringing in a young QB. Would you want to bring a young QB with Mike Verbal? I'm like, no. Like, if and this is. Look, the way I'm looking at it is this. If AP's the head coach, I'm looking at the OC and be like, all right, who's the best offensive coordinator that you can pair with fill-in-the-blank quarterback in the NFL draft? Mm-hmm. Like, we got to make sure that combination works. Now, for all the people who are saying that AP needs to go and I don't think the next guy should be another defensive head coach. We should actually look at an offensive-minded coach if you're going to have a top 3, top 5 pick and you're going to go after a quarterback. Yeah, it just makes sense. A lot of people talking about Ben Johnson. You know what I mean? That could be a guy, but I'm obviously for AP staying, and I think pairing him with a offensive coordinator that will help develop the quarterback is like the best. I think best situation. If we're thinking about Luke Getsy being the guy, I'm gonna be like, and I never even understood it to begin with, but it is what it is. Let's go to the next notable quotable real quick. Do you want to give the intro?
Yeah, man. So, we talked about play calling and some missed opportunities and execution overall. And, in this particular situation, we had Alexander Madison discussing an opportunity we had in the red zone where if you look at the play, it would have been a guaranteed touchdown if the play is executed properly.
There was a time where down there close by, it felt like we ran a screen and, the pressure just got in Gardner's face and he tried to take the quick underneath. But, it was one of those things you look at it probably on film. You stick with it maybe a little bit longer. I just don't know where the pressure was, but one of those ones where you wish you had it back because it was just so wide open when I turned around. But definitely, I don't know. We're going to look at the film. I feel like, we get down there in that red zone, we're going to have to try and lean on the run game more, especially the day that we had to try and get in the end zone. But, I mean, like I said, it's 11 as one. We all have to lean on one another and execute our jobs. And they were able to stop us from getting in the end zone, and we just have to be better at trying to get in.
Sheesh. Hey, shots fired. He basically took a shot at Minshew right there, which I remember that I was like literally set up perfectly. I'm like, if he got it to, I guess, Madison on a play, that would have been a big play right there, and it looks like it could have possibly been a touchdown. according to Madison,
it was gonna be a walk-in touchdown. I think they were at like the 15-yard line. Like it was a great play call. They called a screen against an all-out blitz. Madison had protection. Aidan just had to stick in there a little bit longer. But he instead, I think he tried to throw like a crossing route to like Brock or somebody like that, or not to Turner, I think, and then it's incomplete. But yeah, if he gets the ball to Madison on the screen, he walks in for a touchdown. He's only person out there. It's him, 3 offensive linemen, and like a DB out there. There's nobody else anywhere near the vicinity. It would have been a walk-in touchdown.
Yeah, man, that's funny that you brought up this quote because I literally noticed that again. I'm like, what is he doing? It looks so awkward. Like it looked like he panicked and tried to force it in to the was it DJ Turner who ended up almost getting
DJ Turner.
He set him up to fail.
Got blasted. Yeah, he got blasted.
Man, medicine ball from Minshew. You know what I mean? And I think Devontae seen it coming. He was like, I'm out. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. My guy Black Sales Sports Talk again with another super chat, man. Appreciate you, my guy. He says, Have y'all heard the Wes Welker as OC rumors bring the Mike McDaniels offense over? Ooh, man. I might like that. That's an interesting that is kind of a bold hire though. Bold hire.
Wes Welker? What does Wes Welker do with Mike McDaniels right now? He's not the OC, right?
He's not the OC. The OC is, I believe,
our old tight end coach, Frank Smith.
Yeah, Frank Smith is. Yep, he's still the OC. So, but he doesn't call the plays. Frank Smith doesn't call the plays.
Mike McDaniel calls the plays.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, so I think I sent this to you on Mike, right? I think everybody in the league respects, and all the fans, they respect Mike McDaniel as a head coach, or as an offensive mind, or as a play caller. Mm-hmm. On a team that has Rasheem Mostert, Devin Achane, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. How many points did they put up last game? 10? 10, right? Like, that shows you how important your quarterback is. They went from, and people don't even think Tua is that good. People don't even think Tua is that good. So they went from being one of the most high-flying, prolific offenses that we've seen in a while to barely be able to muster 10 points on an offense that has Jalen Waddle and I think maybe Tyreek is out. But still, Jalen Waddle, Rasheem Mostert, Devin Achane. Like, that's how important your quarterback is. So you can't look at our quarterback situation and what our offense is doing and saying, oh, it's all on Getsy or it's all on Antonio Pierce, or like, the quarterback is the key. If you don't have a quarterback, you're not going to succeed in this league.
And that's on the Dolphins. That's on the Dolphins too, because like they know that. I mean, I know they gave Tua that contract, but I mean, during his career, he's shown that he's a little bit injury prone. Like, he's going to miss a few games here and there, and their quarterback room is kind of, it is what it is. Like, it's really not that good. And after Tua, like, who is it? Tyler Huntley, who they got in a trade or a waivers during the preseason? The Skylar Thompson.
It was Skylar Thompson, and he got hurt, and then it was Tyler Huntley. So it's like,
like, come on, that's just, that's on them, man. That's they look, if you're gonna go with a guy like Tua, that you better have a good backup quarterback. And he's coming back. He's coming back too, which is crazy, man, to think about, man. And that's a whole different conversation. Yeah. My guy Bosco with the super chat, man. I appreciate the super chat, my guy. He says Ridder over Tannehill. If you're the GM, still just say that.
Oh, you should be charging GM. So I don't think we addressed. I don't think we addressed this signing. I don't think we addressed the Terrace Marshall.
We didn't talk about it. We didn't talk about it.
So Desmond. So the Desmond Ridder signing tells me one thing, that we don't give a damn about this year. Yeah. We don't give a damn about this year. Yeah. Same thing with the Terrace Marshall signing, right? Both of those are young guys. I think Desmond Ridder, ironically, Desmond Ridder is 25. He's still younger than Aidan O'Connell. Still.
Well,
you know,
why would Tannehill come back? Why would he sign with the Raiders, who Raiders right now are 2-5? Like, why would he even jump into that? I mean, I know it's an opportunity for him to play, but I mean, he's like what, late 30s, mid 30s, you know what I mean? Like, he's kind of like probably leaning towards retiring at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, why would he come to a team? If it was like a team where, you know, they're on the cusp and they had a huge injury, then I can see, you know, look, good example, Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco, the Browns last year, team that was a pretty good defense, just needed a quarterback to come in, and he was able to come off the couch and ball out, play well, and led him to the playoffs pretty much. I just don't see the Raiders are a good fit for Tannehill, to be honest with you. Like, I don't think Tannehill would want to play. Yeah. Like, they could have possibly made the call, but Tannehill was like,
made the call. But they could have made the call before the season too. That's what I'm saying. I don't think they have any interest, and I don't think that it's a situation where they're looking, because there are other veteran quarterbacks out there, right? Yeah. That they could have went after instead of a young guy that still has some athletic ability, still has some talent, and can possibly, you know, maybe develop into a competent backup for you going forward, especially since he's much more mobile than either of the quarterbacks we have, to be honest with you. And we've seen what Lugechi can do with the mobile quarterback. So I just think that the Ridder signing, it lets me know that they are already thinking about the future. And same thing with the Terrace Marshall signing, right? There are several other receivers out there, older guys, you know, Mike Thomas, Randall Cobb, I think Russell Gage is still out there, Philip Dorsett. There are older guys out there. If they wanted help at the wide receiver position, they can go after some of these older, more accomplished guys. But the fact they went after a young, you know, a guy that still has some development left in him, a guy that was on that national championship team, who was, you know, a second-round pick by the Carolina Panthers. The fact that they went after a guy like that, it just shows me all signs point to they have their eyes toward the future. That they're not really too concerned about winning it in the now.
And that's the GM's job too. The GM's job is to not look at the present. He's supposed to look ahead and see how the team is supposed to look like a year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now. That's the GM's job. The head coaching job is like literally, what are we gonna do this week? You know what I mean? What we're gonna do this season? That's him. That's for him to focus on. Obviously, he's gonna collab with the GM to make the best decision. I mean, that's how I stand on it. I agree with Severe as well. My guy Bosco, appreciate the super chat. The B says Brady's gonna make us winners again. I hope you're right, man. I hope you're right, man. That's what I'm hoping for too. Old school. I wonder what would be fair, or would politics, old relation cause AP to lose his job? Are you talking about like some of the head coaches that he has on the staff? Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? The Marvin Lewises and the Joe Philmans, and obviously a guy that he leans on, who's not there day to day, but he calls like almost every day. Tom Coughlin, who he won a Super Bowl win. Hey, I think he's gonna have to figure that out, man. He's gonna have to realize, like, hey, at the end of the day, he's gonna have to stand on his own decisions, and which, hey, that's kind of one of the things I kind of respect from AP. Like, he's willing to listen to other people who's been there, done that. So, you know, you got to respect that. But we'll see, man. We'll see how it shakes out. Rambo Adventure says TB12 will get Ben Johnson if he wants him. Just watch. Whoever TB12 wants as head coach, he will get. MD will give him the checkbook. That's what I'm thinking, bro.
But
that's what I'm thinking, bro. Like, I'm just saying. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling the standing ovation. Just peep. Hey, look. I'm gonna give you. I'm just gonna point this out. You remember when Mark Davis announced the hiring of Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler? Remember how he was front row and center at that press conference?
Yeah.
When Tom Telesco and AP got hired, he literally took one picture and he cut. He wasn't there in the presser, if y'all remember.
Yeah.
Fast forward, Tom Brady becomes the minority owner of the Raiders. We all seen the video that went around social media. You see the standing ovation. You know what I mean? Mark Davis is hugging Tom Brady every chance he gets, cheesing from ear to ear. I'm just like, man. Even you had to admit, like, this is a bigger move than just being the owner for the team. Like, he's gonna have some type of say, man. And that's what kind of gives me a little bit of thought. Like, hey, you know what? Maybe AP's job might not be safe. That's the only thing. That's the only. I mean, we could all talk about like the shortcomings and stuff like that in certain areas and mistakes, but I'm just saying, like, Tom Brady, bro. That's the big wild card.
The problem I have with that is that, let's say you hire Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson's never been a head coach either. So who's to say? And Ben Johnson also has a Super Bowl caliber quarterback already there. He also has one of the best wide receivers in the league already there. So he has lots of tools and lots of weapons. He'd be coming to a team where the cupboards, outside of Bowers, maybe if we still keep Myers, the cupboards are pretty bare, and we don't have a quarterback, and we don't know what he's going to be like as a head coach, trying to do those dual duties, right? We've seen those guys that are successful coordinators fail when they get head coaches. We just seen that movie, right? We just got done watching that very same movie. So do you really want to repeat that? And then if he comes in and he flames out his first year, do we get rid of him too and find the next young hot guy out there at coordinator, right? And then if he flames out the first year, do we fire him? And then, at some point you have to stick with something. Everybody is just such a rush to get rid of this guy that everybody was in such a rush to hire. It's like 8 months ago, right? So it's ridiculous. Give this guy a chance. Let him do what he needs to do. This has been a traditionally poor drafted team that has no depth. And we're paying for it right now because we've had these injuries and we don't have the depth to make it through all these injuries because we've drafted so poorly through these past regimes. So we can't blame all this on Antonio Pierce.
Yeah, no, 100%. My guy Raider Smoke with the super chat, man. He says, what ideal OC and QB would you guys want next year? Whew. Man. It's either, I mean, is Cam Ward going to go number one? Is he going to?
Likely him or Shador.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be good with both, man. I mean, like whoever if Raider, the thing is the Raiders got to be up there because there's a lot of these teams like Tennessee's going to want a quarterback. The Rams, the team that we just played, they're going to want. I think I could see them being a team that wants a quarterback. There's going to be a few teams that are going to be quarterback hungry by the end of the season when it's all said and done. So it just really depends on where the Raiders are at. But I mean, I like Cam. I like Shador. I think at OC, if we can get a guy that like offensive minded coach that was a former head coach at OC, because then he won't leave after 1 year. Because if we get the young up and coming guy, he's gonna leave after 1 year. Usually that's what happens. Yeah. Outside of like exceptions, like CJ Stroud situation.
Bobby Slowick.
Bobby Slowick, Ben Johnson, obviously, like those are like exceptions. Like Ben Johnson what's crazy about him, he wants to see it through. He wants to win a championship, which is dope. Yeah. And it's kind of risky too. You know what I mean? Because that head coach, like he could easily have one bad year, and then that it could be tough for him. But man, I'm trying to think. I don't want the OC from that was the Panthers head coach. Doug Peterson's going to get fired.
Yeah.
But do you want him at an OC after the whole Trevor Lawrence experience where he took a step back after signing that huge deal? Who are your guys?
So, I mean, if I got any quarterback in this next draft, I'm probably going Cam Ward. And for OC, I'm probably going Jared Johnson, the quarterback's coach for the Texans. He's a guy. I think he had some. I don't know if he had head coaching interviews this cycle, but he had some. I want to say he had some OC head coaching, OC interviews this cycle. So, and he's a guy who I talked about last year. Around the same time I was talking about Slowick, I said that he's a guy to look out for as well. He's going to be a hot commodity as an offensive coordinator pretty soon. So he's got to play the position in the past as well. So I think he's a guy that, like him, he played quarterback in the SEC. And I think he's a guy that's a quarterback coach for one of the better young quarterbacks in the league. Put him with Cam Ward and kind of see what they can do.
Hey, you know who I'd want to get? Be honest with you, if Dennis Allen gets fired, Clint Kubiak.
His offense fell out. They fell off a cliff though, bro. Like even with Carr there, they immediately fell off a cliff. Like they had 2 hot games and then trash the next 2 games, and then Carr got hurt, and then the whole team's kind of everybody's hurt now.
But they dealt with injury. They dealt with injuries. I think they dealt with injuries, and then obviously the quarterback play wasn't all the way there. I mean, you just brought up Derek Carr. Is he one of the greatest quarterbacks out there? But he had Carr looking good for
2 games. Long. Then the shine fell off quick.
But that's Derek Carr though. It doesn't matter where Derek Carr. He's always been inconsistent. That's just Derek Carr his whole career. Even when he's played well, he played well, and then he'll have a game where he doesn't play well. But we'll see how it looks with Spencer Rattler. But Clint Kubiak, I think, could be available. That could be an option. But then would you pair him with the young quarterback? That's the thing. You got to get someone that works well with the young QB coming out, man.
Yeah,
that's the only thing.
And that's why I said Jared Johnson. He's a guy we've already seen him work well with a young quarterback. We've seen him already have success. And
is it Bobby Slowick or is it him?
Bobby Slowick is going to be a head coach, so he's not.
No, what I'm saying is it more to do with Bobby Slowick, or is it because Bobby Slowick is a former QB coach who's an OC for Texans. Obviously, he had some head coaching interviews last offseason.
Yeah, but when Bobby Slowick went over there, he made sure he grabbed Jared Johnson to come with him. So that tells me, like he respects what this guy brings to the table. So,
we'll see. We'll see. Black Sales Sports Tigers from earlier. He said he's a wide receiver coach. Wes Welker. He's the wide receiver coach for. So y'all going for big swings, man. Y'all taking some risks, being aggressive and going after like some guys, some assistant coaches, and projecting them to be offensive coordinators. But if they ball out, there is that risk where they leave after 1 year.
Exactly.
Which sucks, you know what I mean? Like that's the only thing. Like I would want a OC to be, especially in a situation where the head coach is a defensive-minded coach. You'd want that OC to be there for a while so he can develop that quarterback. Tua looked bad before the concussion this season. Yeah, no facts. But hey, let's bring it back to another notable quotable. Do you want to give the preview for that? The intro for that?
This one is just AP and his presser on Monday, just talking about the two biggest things that basically killed this offense besides Gardner Minshew, and that's penalties and turnovers.
Penalties and turnovers is something that has been rinse and repeat the last 3 weeks, but it's been a focus that you wanted to make sure did not happen.
Right.
How surprised are you that on your watch this is happening consistently, I should say?
Yeah, the penalties, especially pre-snap, I always worry about everything that happens before and after the play. In between the play, that's football. You got to work on technique, get better in that sense. The turnovers, that's it's being careful with the football. That's either throwing interceptions. We've had 10 in the last 3 weeks. 7 interceptions and 3 fumbles, right? We talk about ball security. We do them in every drill to start practice. And then obviously at the quarterback play, we got to make the better decisions.
Penalties and turnovers is something.
Yeah, I mean, for a while now under AP, and I guess you can even say under McDaniels too, last season, like the Raiders have been one of those teams where they don't look like the old Raiders in the past where they're getting like penalties left and right. You know what I mean? They've been kind of like leading the league with not getting penalties, but it kind of has creeped up as of late, is getting penalties, especially in the wrong moments. Times turnovers has been huge. Whether it's fumbling the ball, obviously Minshew is a big part of that. Last game, I mean, it is what it is, man. It's just that's pretty much been the story of the season, because I believe the Raiders, the turnover differential is crazy. I think it's worse in the NFL. They're worse in the NFL, and that stat literally is a good indicator if you're a good team or not. If you're turning the ball over more than you're taking the ball away, you're most likely gonna be losing a lot of games, man. Bosco said F the season when he got hired. Hey, man, it looks like it. When you go into the season with the quarterback situation, like the way they attacked that quarterback position was like, hey, look, you know what? Let's make sure we do it right this season. Yes. I'm not sure that's how he looked at it or said it, but I'm sure he's looking. That's the GM's job, like I said, is to look ahead. So who knows, man?
Yeah.
But hey, let's move it along real quick, man. We appreciate everybody coming through. Make sure to clock in, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Let's get to what's real, what's not. What's real, what's not. And the first what's real, what's not is the success. And this is just for anybody that's joining us for the first time. This is where we say a statement and you guys let us know if it's real or is it's not. And we'll obviously do the same. The success on the ground on Sunday will kickstart the running game going forward. The success on the ground on Sunday will kickstart the running game going forward. Is that real or is it not?
I must say real. I think even though we were facing one of the worst rushing defenses in the league, might have been dead last. We put up 120 something yards. We could have put up much more if we weren't forced to throw the ball as much as we did. I don't think we're going to somehow, all of a sudden be like one of the better rushing offenses in the league, like be top 10 or nothing like that. But I think that from here going forward, we'll be like middle of the road. We'll be middle of the road, and we won't be like dead last or one of the worst in the league as we have been thus far.
I don't know if it was the game where I think we've been running the football outside of like the week prior against a good defense against the run. It's the Steelers, and even against them, we had some moments where we're running the football. It's just that they kind of figured out what the Raiders were doing on offense, and we didn't adjust accordingly, and we weren't passing the ball. We're going into the game with pretty much DJ Turner and Trey Tucker as the starting receivers. I mean, Myers is obviously, we need him out there. You know what I mean? And obviously it would help if Mayer, whenever he can get right, can come back, would add another element to the offense as well. Yeah. But I think I'm hoping I'm gonna say it's real just because we've seen 2 out of the 3 or 3 out of 3 where we went up 3 out of the last 4 or 2 out of the last 3 where the Raiders have broken the 100-yard mark as a team rushing the football. Yeah. So yeah, I'm hoping so. I mean, that was the goal before the season started because we knew what the quarterback room looked like. And we thought that Zamir White would look better than what he has. We didn't think Madison was going to be a guy that got a whole lot of carries, and Madison looks like the better running back right now. Zamir looked better on Sunday, but we'll see. Let's see what people are saying in the chat, man. Real quick, let's see. No talent in the running back room. Yeah, no, hey, I'm not gonna lie. That we gotta find a way to upgrade that position. Yeah. John, he says false. John says false. I mean, do you think we're gonna get a running back in the draft, or are we gonna try to go in free agency and grab a running back? Because obviously yeah.
Draft. I don't think Tom Telesco doesn't strike me as a guy that's going to want to pay running back a whole bunch of money. They could have paid Josh. They elected not to. So I don't think you're going to pay a whole bunch of money for a running back. And, I mean, I think they're going to give Zamir White every opportunity down the stretch of this season, especially now that the season is basically lost. They're going to give him every opportunity to kind of prove whether or not he can be the guy. I think he's kind of already proven that he's not the primary guy. So I think they'll go draft.
Night Owl says real. John agrees with you, says draft. Capitan says true. Alexander Madison's the only one who worked very hard in vision and speed. Like, hey, man, hey, my guy, Capitan, he's a big believer in Madison.
Yeah.
And he had a touchdown, too. Like we talked about earlier. He had that touchdown on the screen, man, if it wasn't for Minshew, so.
Yeah.
Hey, Madison, you know what? I give credit to Telesco there. That's solid signing. That was a good signing. That was a solid signing. All right, so let's move it on to the next what's real, what's not, real quick. Considering where he was picked, DJ Glaze is the best pick the Raiders had in this year's previous draft. Repeat it. Considering where he was picked, DJ Glaze is the best pick the Raiders had in the previous draft. Is that real or is it not?
It's not real, but I think it's closer than people will consider. I mean, obviously, Brock Bowers has been, a revelation. Part of that is because he's kind of had to be because we ain't got no wide receivers. So part of it is like, hey, we have to get the ball to Brock Bowers. But when he's gotten him the ball, he's been very good. But what DJ Glaze has been able to do as a third-round pick, and some of the numbers he's putting up, just in terms of pass, especially in terms of pass pro, I think he's doing an excellent job. In this last game, he was very, very good against the run as well.
John said too soon to tell. I'm gonna tell you right now, man. Come on, man. It's Brock Bowers, man. He's definitely the best pick in this draft. It's not even close. Yeah. And that's not even a shot at the draft class. It's just that speaks more to how great Bowers has been playing so far this season, and he's literally hitting historic numbers, like as a tight end. So when you start doing that, you got to give it to Brock Bowers. DJ Glaze has been a nice surprise, like been solid so far. Shout out to Telesco, that's a great pick. JPJ, we like what we've seen from him too. We just need to stay healthy. So far, the draft, man, it looks pretty solid. Dylan Lobby, I hope to see him get some carries this season. I know he's kind of struggled when he got in there. He got that fumble, and they never went back to him. But I think they should give him an opportunity. Like, hey, we gotta see if he's any good. Like, give him the opportunity to see. Like, if he's not any good, then he's not gonna be on his team for that long. So let's just figure it out. Daniel Kim says Glaze has been a great pick so far. Bowers was a steal at number 12 for immediate return. Yeah,
exactly.
For immediate return, and he's 21 years old.
Yeah,
this dude's
so
gonna
is
be
Glaze
good.
though.
Yeah,
so is Glaze. So
yeah, man. And I think Glaze might have been the highest rated player. For any PFF guys, I think he might have been the highest rated player on offense this past weekend.
Yeah, and if you look at his numbers, we look at this past draft, a lot of people thought that the Chargers would take Brock Bowers because they traded away all their offensive weapons, and instead they chose to take Joe Alt. You look at this last week and a few weeks, look at like PFF grades for rookie tackles, and DJ Glaze has been better than Joe Alt. So I'm not saying he's going to be a better player than him, but he has been a very good pickup for a third round pick.
If we're focused on positivity, man, the Raiders they had a good draft.
He's not about to be better than Jaden Daniels. You're smoking. He's not. He's going to be the best. He's going to be maybe our best player in this draft, but he's not going to be the best player in this draft, bro. You outside of your mind. Ain't no way in the world he's better than Jay Daniels. Has the Washington Commanders is one of the best teams in the league. Right? Come on.
Severe was like, hold on. Wait. Let's slow down here. Let's slow down here. But I mean, Bowers is a real deal, man. He's 21 years old and he's balling out. He's breaking records at tight end. You got like Gronkowski coming out saying like, this dude's gonna be better than me. You know what I mean? At pass catching, he had to make that clear. But still, even as a blocker, he's been solid. I mean, he hasn't been terrible. You know what I mean? I think that and that can get better too as well. So it's like, man, I think the Raiders, looking at that past draft, man, quarterback position is always going to be a position where people are going to always like put at near the top. So Jaden Daniels, the way he's looking, Caleb Williams is kind of like playing better than what he started out the season. Malik Neighbors is a monster, man. There's some good players coming out this draft, man. A lot of good players coming out this draft. But yeah, man, hey, man, it's been a great show. We appreciate everybody coming through. Hey, we still got to have that conversation. I know the Raiders ain't what we thought they were before the season, but we still got to have that conversation. We appreciate everybody coming through. Make sure to clock in at this point, clock out, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Man, we appreciate everybody pulling up. Old School says, I hope we win against the Chiefs. F everybody's money up so then we can hate us more. Hey, you know what? That would be a great Sunday. I know I'm over here talking about tanking and all this, but like, I hate the Chiefs. So if we could beat the Chiefs, that would be a great Sunday for me. So like I said, I appreciate everybody coming through. Let me see, make sure if I got all the super chats here. Yeah, man. So yeah, I can hit up all the super chats. Severe, my guy, man. Let people know where they can find you, what to look forward to, all that good stuff, man.
You guys know what's up, man. It's the Severe Raider here on YouTube, the Severe Raider on IG, the Severe Raider on Snapchat, X, everywhere. The Severe Raider. You already know what we do. The 50-50 show every Tuesday evening, as well as Around the Shield every Friday night. Also rocking with my boy Chris in 805. We do our stuff like Tuesday afternoon. So yeah, man, just be on the lookout for some stuff. Got some stuff in the works, man. You can probably find me next week in the Pit of Despair because I think we about to get donkey stomped by the Chiefs. But no, come draft, the sun will rise again.
Rambo has a great question before we head out. Who affects the game more, a dominant O lineman or a generational tight end? Line of scrimmage. No.
Yeah, O lineman. I mean, like,
O-lineman.
A lot of these people wanted Harbaugh. Harbaugh had a choice between two of them, and he chose the offensive lineman. So I mean, everything flows from the trenches. You can have the best tight end in the league, and if you can't protect your quarterback to get the ball to him, what good is he?
And look at the Raiders' offense so far this season. Part of the struggles is because offensive line has been struggling. We couldn't run the football. We couldn't give the quarterback time. As much as we are tough on Minshew and AOC, they're not really getting a whole lot of time back there. I mean, they've gotten better as of late. You know what I mean? How much better? Maybe not a lot, but to start the season, it was tough. It was tough to watch. So I definitely imagine a Trent Williams on this offensive line. You know what I mean? Imagine a Trent Williams. Look at San Francisco with Trent Williams, like, and how he dominates the game for them on that O-line. So imagine having that. Look, just think about the all-time. I mean, having a great tight end is good. I love it. You know what I mean? If you think about it, the last few years, I mean, we had Darren Waller, pretty good tight end. He had some good years with the Raiders. Before that, Jared Cook was solid. But yeah, this guy right here, man, Brock Bowers. I think he's gonna take it to a whole different level, and I think he's gonna be a great tight end. Hopefully, it impacts. What it's gonna give is gonna give Raiders a number one option on offense, which is a chess move that Tom Telesco made, which is you got to give him credit. Like, he's seen it coming. He's like, hey, look, Devontae ain't gonna stay here any longer. We need someone that on offense that we can that we can get the ball to. Yeah. But hey. Like I said, I appreciate everybody coming through. We're here every Tuesday evening, nights, 50-50 show with my guy Severe. Also, every Fridays we have Around the Shield. My guy Severe, as well as Big Mike Raider. So just be on the lookout. This week it's gonna be a live show. So tune in on Friday. Think around 8 o'clock. I think we'll have a live show. So make sure to tune in. We appreciate everybody coming through. We got people coming through late, real quick. Watch the replay, man. Watch the replay. Hold on, let's see. Tight end is one of the toughest positions. Austin wants to chime in real quick, man. I want to chime in on this. Tight end is one of the toughest positions to play. They have had a lot of linemen in KC, but Kelsey has always been consistent while they've won. I don't know about right tackle being more impactful than a tight end. Okay, well, I was thinking left tackle. I was thinking like offensive tackle, left tackle.
When they lost the Super Bowl, how did they lose that Super Bowl? Because they couldn't do what? They couldn't protect Patrick Mahomes. What did Kelsey do in that game? Not a damn thing, because they couldn't protect him. So, I mean, it's obvious. Like, put it like this: how many tight ends get drafted in the first round? How many tight ends got drafted in the first round this year? How many right tackles got drafted in the first round? Like, this is not even a question. You guys are like, it's not even a question. Your offensive line is probably the most important position or the most important unit on the field. Everything flows from there. Like, Travis Kelce is able to do all the stuff he does, all those crazy routes he does, because they have an offensive line that can protect Patrick Mahomes.
Steve says, Severe, why do you hate me? You always say hurtful things now.
If you're hoping for that, brother, you got some bad news coming your way. It's Friday.
Hey, I'm still in it. I'm still in it, man. I'm still in it. Hey, tune in this Friday, man, where we break down our game picks, and we make game picks this weekend, man. Like I said, Around the Shield every Fridays. Tune in. This week is gonna be a live show. Usually it's a pre-record, so definitely tune in this Friday. And then, hey, man, hopefully the Raiders, we can watch a good football game. I want to watch a good football game. I'm tired of watching these games where it's just depressing, and that's on the Raiders. That's on the players on the team. That's on the coaching staff. Hopefully we see something good.
Time out. Hey, what, Rambo, hey, you need to calm all that down, brother. I'm not gonna this you got one warning, bro. Don't call me out my name, brother. I don't play that. So we can keep it football. You get the name calling, we're gonna have some issues. Keep that to a minimum.
Yeah, man. Keep it respectful, man. At the end of the day, like, hey, we can all disagree. We can disagree with what we're talking about, like as far as if you disagree with our opinion on what we're saying, it's all good, man. We feel like it a certain way. We understand everybody has their own thoughts on the game, but at the end of the day, man, keep it respectful. Keep it respectful. Come on, man. But like I said, we'll be back here next Tuesday, 50-50 show, Around the Shield Fridays, and also follow Around the Shield all over social media, on X, Twitter, and on IG. You know what I mean? We'll have clips of the show, memes, the latest and greatest with the Raiders. Definitely check it out if you guys have IG too as well, man. We appreciate everybody coming through. Hey, man. Hopefully the Raiders get it done this week, man. Hopefully the Raiders get it done, man. But any last thoughts before we head out?
Nah, man, that's it, man. Look, I'm hoping for a competitive game, and we keep our draft position. That's all I'm gonna say.
Competitive game, okay, that's fair, man. Hopefully, hey, man, I'm hoping right now. I think the Raiders are number 6. They're like projected to pick number 6 overall. So top 10. All right, y'all, man. We'll see y'all next week or later this week. All right, peace.
Just win, baby. Hello? You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it.